Welcome, everyone, to Right Size Livin', where recovery meets real life. From health and fitness to humor and hard-earned lessons, this is your space for honest conversations, personal stories, and tips to thrive in every aspect of life. Whether you're in recovery or just curious about living alcohol and addiction-free, you're in the right place. Let's dive into the journey together. Hello?
Love to.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, Simas.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, so this is working now. Good.
Oh, it sounds good, dude.
Oh, yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
Smooth sounds of sea bass, dude. Yeah. I just feel
I'd be like, fuck, oh, it's fucking raining.
Yeah, but now I hear an echo.
wait, hold on.
No, it's
God, I smell the fucking, what was the number of the
Bay 19.
I smell Bay 19 and I hear the smooth sounds of sea bass. Hold on, you guys. Just God. Ooh.
19. No, it doesn't quite smell like Bay 19 today. It smells more like poop.
Okay, Bay 19 is just a cover up to say this. It sucks. This
Yeah. But,
it
actually,
sucks.
Bay
That's all
19,
it is.
No, it doesn't. Pretty good.
I like the smell of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Bay 19 itself is good, but it's a cover up, right?
And are we gonna talk about Kalonga?
Kalonga? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love Kalonga. We went to Nordstrom's and looked at Kalonga yesterday. Smelled some.
Just a few men testing cologne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Human and my wife.
Yeah. Just trying on different fragrances in Nordies. Nothing wrong with that.
At all.
We got a problem? No. I washed mine off, but it's on my fleece a little bit still. Smells good.
It was good stuff, though. Like, I think if I'm going to buy my next one, that's going to be Bay 19, Lola Bo.
Is that helpful for your recovery? Is smelling good?
It is. Honestly, I was never into cologne until I got sober, and it was my son that kind of got me into it. He wore cologne, and I was like, "Oh, that smells good." And so I went out and I got like those cheap like $10 like body sprays,
Yeah.
and I started using that for a little bit, like after showering, and then I was like, "Yeah, this smells kind of cheap," and so I went and got my first cologne and then just went down a rabbit hole after that. But no, I know it's a weird thing, but whatever.
I don't think it's weird. My buddy's wife makes these really kind of, I don't know, like earthy, more kind of like sandalwood type scents, and I bought some off of her. And I've been looking for. She's quit making them, and so I've been like endlessly searching for these like that type of scent. And I found this one place on Alberta. It's a black owned company, and they've been doing it for quite a few years. And it looks like they went out of business, but I got some from them and I ran out. So I've been like searching all over the place to try to find something that's similar to it, but I haven't been able. It's all too like frilly smelling, I guess, or too like jockey smelling for my taste. I like to smell like campfire and fucking.
Maybe that's a new career path.
What's that?
Your career path.
New career path. Maybe that's a new career path, Brandon.
I don't want to fuck with that. I'll just spray.
I was just like, I was really enlightened, or I don't know what the word is. I was surprised by like what I saw yesterday.
Mhm.
Like
With
these,
me?
yeah. When you took us to that little counter at kiosk and they were
Lola Bo?
crafting scents,
Yeah. No, they're really I like all
I
their
was like, wow,
smells.
this is
They're
wild.
they're all like natural herbally, earthy kind of smells.
Yeah.
They don't smell
So,
like department store scents.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to Drakkar Noir smell anymore.
Oh man, that's the classic though.
So,
You wanna
so we're
go-
recording right now. Is that correct?
Cool water and Drakkar. Yeah, it's
Don't want to go back to Jack Daniel's old number 7.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a bad scent, dude. Look.
a little,
All right.
a a little vomit on
Yeah, vomit and JD's.
So if we're recording, people might be wondering what the hell we're talking about. We're talking about cologne shopping amongst a bunch of men.
These are
And
things
Sarah.
we do in
And Sarah.
recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah came.
And
cupcakes and Nordies.
Yeah.
Cupcakes were
Yeah.
amazing again. Yeah.
So let's I don't know, let's formally kick it off. Let's do a quick check-in. Um,
Oh yeah, we're buying in and we're buying out, right?
And buy out.
Cashing in, cashing out.
Cash
Yeah.
in, cash out.
Cashing in, do, cashing in. Clink.
one day we'll get some sounds.
Yeah.
James will be doing it forever.
Oh, yeah.
And you're doing a lot of spit shining over there, bud.
Yeah. A lot.
Are you
I'm
hydrated?
excited.
Are you hydrated?
Excited.
You've been at T-Bone's house for a couple of days, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, this is what we do
excited.
over here.
Nothing weird.
Nothing
It's
weird.
what T-Bone does for sure.
It's two dudes. And I'm gonna check
I'm
in.
not going to reserve myself right now,
I'm gonna
Brandon.
check
I'm just
in.
going to check myself here and not say anything.
I'm a 2.
Number two?
I'm a 2.
He has like help me written on his call 911.
Get me the fuck out of here.
Help me.
Okay, look, I'm just gonna say I feel like I've been a nice host. Like he had a fresh towel,
Dude,
fresh towel.
T-Bone, I'm grateful that you let me stay here, dude, honestly. And he even lets me sleep in his own bed without him, which is,
Do
Clean
you find
sheets
it odd
or-
that he relinquishes his bed so easily? Like there's something going on.
it's a little weird. It's a
Are
little
are
weird.
there cameras in
A
here?
little weird.
Do you sleep on his side or do you sleep on the other side?
Well, it's an interesting mattress. It's one of those ones where it's like one of those like cushiony, like the Tempur-Pedic ones, I think. And
But
so,
not that expensive, of course.
and I've never really slept on a mattress like that. So like what happens is like you end up grooving yourself during the
Yeah.
night. And so you have to like literally climb out of the hole in order to switch to the other side.
And also,
It's a great mattress. It's been great.
I think I'm due for a new mattress. I think I've created a perma groove on one side because I only sleep on one side. So James is probably like falling into that side of the bed every. Yeah.
No,
Sorry, bud.
No, dude, I thank you for letting me stay. You have been more than hospitable, and I know that you get breaks every other weekend. You have the kids and stuff, and so like this is probably normally your weekend to decompress and everything. And so having me around has got to suck balls.
No, it's like
I mean,
having
not
a kid. It's
literally,
like having a kid that
but
listens. Having a kid that listens.
Yeah.
It's been nice.
So thanks, man. I really like coming to see you guys, and I want to keep this kind of connection going. So with that being said, I'm probably an 8.
An 8.
Yeah, 8 me.
It's a great number. I like 8 too. I'll go with 8.
Good.
I'm a 9, man. Yesterday,
Yeah.
me and James, I mean, the whole weekend's been awesome. I don't know. It's still hard to believe that I hung out with my kid after that many months. I mean, it's been like 9 months.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
but it was just like, it was seamless. There was zero awkwardness. It's just like we picked up where we left off before I became a grumpy, drunk piece of shit. So I was a drunk, but I wasn't grumpy. And then as my addiction, increased, got worse, I just deteriorated as a father and a husband and a human being. So, but those days are past me now.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, we should definitely circle back to that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But 9, that's fucking great, man. Me, my body is a 6. Really sore from yesterday. Really tired from yesterday's workout. Mentally, I'm an 8. Our son's here. I made a really good dinner last night. His girlfriend was over. Good family times. And we're gonna sell his car. So
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
we'll hang out time with him. And then I'm gonna secretary the meeting tonight. So yeah,
Those Sundays with Sebastian.
smooth Sundays
Sounds-
with Seabass.
Yeah.
Smooth Sundays with Seabass.
You
That
should bring
wasn't
your-
that wasn't
that
very smooth.
microphone, you're like so powerful with that microphone.
Smooth Sundays with Seabass.
Ooh, sending a chill up my back.
Damn, man. Bust
Whoa.
out that.
that was-
Man, Ooh.
I've turned. I've turned.
Knew that was coming.
My goodness. Yeah.
All
So
right, cool.
Yeah, let's kick, I don't know, maybe try something different. Like James was in town. We did some cool things yesterday, like got some cupcakes, got some pizza later in the evening, right? Brandon,
Went to
you,
that new meeting for me.
yeah, new meeting.
yeah.
Want to create a quick top 5 things to do in Portland for the weekend while James visits town? Listen,
Cupcakes, Nordstrom,
Dinner,
dinner,
Mississippi
meetings.
pizza.
coffee meetup for shit talking.
Yeah. Meetings. There you go.
Meetings,
Yeah.
Where they,
meeting new people.
Pickleball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gym. Also gym. Yeah.
How does that work out for you, T-Bone?
I mean, you guys know I don't like do that as often as or frequent as you guys. So every time I go, which is every other Saturday, if it hurts, it hurts good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm sore in a lot of places today.
Sorry.
Like,
It doesn't so much hurt here or
Here,
here as
here,
much as it hurts like
everywhere else.
everywhere.
yeah. I mean, it was good though. It's good to like because the only thing I'm doing is really jogging and like push-ups and sit-ups and that crap. So
Right.
like doing those power cleans and like when you're on like set 4 and you're like, I think I'm dying, but you
Yeah.
keep going a little bit farther, it's really, I don't know, it's rewarding to like be able to push yourself a little bit, right?
There's sometimes, especially when I first started working out, where I mean, the first rep, and we had like 7 reps to do. I was just like, I'm not gonna fucking make it.
Yeah.
And then you make it through that, and like you said, T-Bone, like the sense of pride. But it reminds me of like, and I've talked to Papa about it, where you're working, you've already done 8 hours of work, and you have another 8 hours of work to go, and like seriously, like breaking down, crying in the shop because you're so tired, you just want to go home, and you fucking do it. And it's like being able to do sobriety or just kind of anything in life where you do these, somewhat smaller, hard things that you like physically feel and mentally feel you can't do it and you get through it. It just, I mean, it just, the motivation that you give yourself, the internal uh pep talk that I do for myself to get through that shit just helps everything in life. I mean, with sobriety, it's just everything's so intertwined. With having that attitude of like, I can do this, even when you feel you're just like, there's no fucking end. But you're
I
able to
think
get through it.
I think that's one thing that's really important about like addiction and recovery and the whole thing is that like it's like sure like if you have a problem with drugs or alcohol like like the acute portion of that like is like you need to separate yourself from the use and like get the substance out of your body, right?
Right.
But then at that point like you have to like develop the lifestyle where you don't just run back to checking out when everything gets tough, you know what I mean? And that's
Exactly.
what I did for my entire adult life, right? It's like a process where you just kind of get through hard things and like you kind of push through stuff that maybe you don't want to do, right? And without using or drinking, right? And
Yeah.
that goes for like things like the gym, that goes for things like making calls to people when you're not feeling good for
Right.
whatever reason. That's not something I want to do, typically. Like when am in my own head, like it takes like a conscious like decision for me to be like, okay, I'm in my own head. I know I'm not thinking very good right now. It's not that I want to use, but if I let this kind of spiral, and don't do anything about it, then like
Right.
maybe down the road I decide to use or drink. So instead of that, I'm gonna do something I don't want to do, like make a call or like
Mhm.
or like pray or meditate or whatever it might be. And I
Yeah.
think the gym develops that muscle, like in a kind of like metaphorical sense. It's a way to develop that muscle.
Well, it's just it gets easier to say fuck it, you know. And I mean, like yesterday, I started contemplating, as I was ready for the gym, I'm just like, shit, maybe I shouldn't go because I don't want to hurt myself. And I'm just like, just go, be careful. Don't do anything that don't lift too much. You're gonna hurt yourself but that's the thing is I've done that so much in my life where it's like, I'm not gonna do this because I'm, planning for the worst, and just kind of ignore what I should be doing because I make up all these excuses in my mind not to do it to placate myself to, basically not feel guilty about not doing something that I should be doing. And it gets easier every time. So I will have a tendency to do that. Especially when I was, using, it was just, fuck it, I'm gonna drink. And then I don't have to worry about any of this
I think
shit.
they, I think they call that what? Rationalization, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
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 So
I mean, you got a pretty good excuse. You are, you know,
yeah, but
you're getting a little up there, and
yeah, that's true. But
age
it's
range.
just like if something happens, I'll figure it out. I gotta go back to like what I've been doing for recovery. Like there's, and not I would create these scenarios in my mind, these fictitious scenarios that would just be like, "Yep, I'm okay. I don't need to do this because there's a possibility." And it's just like I don't want to do that shit anymore. And that the fact that I am getting older, I want to get as much good shit in my life as I possibly can before I die because I've done so many fucking shitty things because of my use of alcohol. I mean, the majority of my adulthood has been, drinking, and I think about all of the missed opportunities that could have been, and I don't. Now that I'm sober, I don't ruminate on that shit. I let it go. It's like, yeah, that's the path that led me to here where I am now in a wonderful place in my mind, in my state of mind, and I'm surrounded with an amazing group of supportive people. So I don't, I don't regret what I did. I did before, but I don't now.
Yeah, and even at that, it's not like, I mean, come on, it's not like we regret every single thing because like there were some
Right.
good times, right? Like
Oh,
Don't
of
regret the
course.
past.
Yeah,
yeah,
of
brewery
course.
visits, ball games,
Of
bachelor
course.
parties, whatever it might have been. There's been to a couple Dodger World Series, and it was some good times, right?
Right, of course.
Um,
Yeah,
and there's freaking tied to those memories, of course, but yeah, it's not all bad. But to your point, Brandon, I 100% agree. Like, you don't have to ruminate about the regrets
right, of
associated with those.
course. That,
You did
that
some
was
stellar,
that.
you've done some stellar stuff before now, Brandon.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
remember that.
yeah. And that's, we were kind of talking about that at breakfast one time. One of our friends asked, like, what do you do when, uh, like he was experiencing, some kind of self-doubt. And I told him, I was like, I think about all the stuff that I did when I was drinking that I was able to accomplish by myself. And I kind of gather from that, now that I'm sober, I'm just in such a better mental, physical position to be even better than I was. And now I have a support group, a group of people that I can rely on. Before it felt like a tightrope with no net. Like anything that I did, I had no fallback. My parents don't have a ton of money financially. So it was like all of these things that I did in my life, it was on my own. And I had nothing to fall back on. So that gave me a lot of confidence. But as I grew, my addiction grew, you start losing that confidence and forgetting about all the things that you've done in your life that moved you forward. And so, and he was able to think about that and be like, yeah, that helps. I mean, the support is amazing. I've just never experienced any kind of support like this ever. And, that's what helped reunite me with my child again. So
Yeah, tell us about your day yesterday.
It was amazing, man. I mean, I went to the gym, met with you guys, and uh, did a hard workout, rewarding workout,
Yep,
and
I remember that.
and ran home, showered, and it was just, you know, Debo asked if I was nervous, and I wasn't nervous at all. It was just disbelief the whole time that, I we've both created this independent life without each other, for the last since June. And it's still just such a mind trip that, sometimes it's like being a husband and a dad was like a dream, like it was, I don't know. It's a weird reality, but also like I'm very, as sad and painful being without them has been, it's been the best thing for me for my recovery. And I've learned to be on my own and be happy with it.
Yeah.
And because of the program, I mean, that was once I got married, because I have always been codependent. I wanted a wife, I wanted a child ever since I was like in high school. I just always wanted to be loved. And when I got that, that's all I wanted. And over the last 14, 15 years, it was work and my family. I didn't want to do anything else. I wanted to be with them. But as that grew, I didn't have a social outlet, outside of them and depending on them for every, aspect of my social life, which is not healthy for anybody in a relationship. But not recognizing that and growing my addiction to alcohol, it just deteriorated.
How was going back to your day yesterday?
Uh, oh, sorry.
How tell us like how it felt like to hang out with your kid like the whole day sober. Like you
It
haven't
was
had that
awesome.
experience for a long time, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it was, it felt so good because as we're just walking around and I'm just, following him around, let him like, dude, you can get whatever you want. And, taking time a lot of time in stores, just kind of browsing where when I was drinking, even though, he didn't know I was intoxicated, I would just be like, when the fuck are we getting out of here?
Yeah.
When can we go eat so I can have a beer
Yeah.
or, have a glass of wine or something? There just wasn't that. And I mean, but I was thinking about that, how I used to be. I was
Right.
constantly thinking like, how would I be reacting in this situation, 10
Yeah.
months ago?
Yeah.
And I was just so grateful that he allowed me back in his life and
Right.
I'm there. And we had lunch and I was sitting there talking to him and I was just, I brought it up. I was just like, look, I want you to know that this is a completely safe space when you're with me. I'm not grumpy anymore because he would always tell me that I'm grumpy. I'm like, I'm not grumpy anymore. I stopped drinking and now
Debatable, by the way.
what's that?
Debatable, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
A bit of a
No,
curmudgeon.
I'm not as
I'm
grumpy.
just kidding.
But I actually am able to start helping other people that have a problem with alcohol. And I want you to feel comfortable asking me any question you want. And I apologized and I wanted him to know that whatever he has a question about, why did this happen? Why did, mom and I leave? And I mean, he's old enough, but still there's tons of, and he may not be ready for that right now, but anytime down the road, I want him to know that like, I'm available. I owe you everything. You don't owe me anything. This was my doing and I failed. I failed as a parent. I failed as a husband and I'm indebted to them.
Yeah.
So, but I also need to make sure that
So going back to that experience real quick, like
uh-huh,
just the experience itself, it was like if I took away all that, what you said, like you got to be present,
right.
got to be
Yeah.
present.
Yeah.
I wanted
I
to I
mean,
wanted to share my experience real quick. The first time I got to spend the whole day with my son, I'll never forget this. I was 7 months because I have it on my Instagram. We went up snowboarding, and it was the first time I went snowboarding with our son that I was sober. Like, and I previously I'd go up snowboarding and well, in the worst part, I would drink during the day, in the morning, before I go snowboarding, during snowboarding, and then I would quit like 4 hours in, not even 4 hours, like 3 hours into the day. I'd be like, I'm gonna go. I'm tired, and I would drink, um, and then I'm talking about like the last year of my addiction. I literally would pass out in the lodge, like, and then just wait for him to be done. But that experience when I was sober for the first time, hanging out with him on the mountain, was like you said, Anthony. I was present. I was able to enjoy a full day. Like, it was fucking amazing. Like, I
yeah,
was so just overwhelmed. I'm like, this is great. Like,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
just.
exactly. What about you, Anthony? Like when you reunited with your kids?
Yeah, I mean that was, mine are younger, right? So like the level of engagement is a little bit different, but it was I don't know, it was like a period of whew, like it went from like every day, right, to like breakup, and then it was like I got to see him like once a week at swim class, right? And I had these little bits and pieces between them, but then there became a time where it was like a 3 4 month period without them, and it was more like it was just weird, right? Not being with them every day and then not being with them all of a sudden. Um, and so the first, like when I first jumped into it, I was like ready, right? Like I mean, I had to fight for it, right? Um, so I was ready to be there. So my experience was that it was nervousness, right? There's a lot of anxiety around it. Like, would I know what to do? I felt like maybe I'd forget how to act, how to be, how to take care of, young people. So it was a lot of nervousness. But then once you start moving and once you start getting into it, yeah, I was able to like be like, wait, I know what I'm doing here. And then I was able to really just enjoy those little moments, enjoy the laughter, enjoy the bits and pieces, like the hugs, the playing games, coloring, whatever it was, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And,
What
it
about you,
was,
James, with Sally? Does Sally like appreciate your sobriety? Does she talk about it with you?
So I don't have any kids, but I do have a beagle named Sally.
Wait,
Uh,
do we need to cut out Sally's name? Will she
no, I think we can. I don't think Sally cares
she'll
about
be,
her
she'll be all
anonymity.
right with it? Okay.
Yeah, she's amazing. No,
probably happy not to be exposed around a bunch of freaks.
you're exactly right, dude. She used to go into her crate when I was getting weird. She'd just like kind of get up and walk into her crate and lay down and start staring off. I
Oh,
mean,
they know. Trust me, they know. We
you
have
know,
dogs and a cat, and when I got weird and messed
yep,
up, like,
they'd
yeah,
stay away.
they stay
Yeah,
away. They know.
they're like, fuck this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was yeah. So no, no, I mean, it's just it's yeah, I guess it's just nice not to have to, you know, I mean, you don't want to put obviously any other being through. I feel bad about putting any other being, whether it be a kid or pet, through having to deal with our my shit, right? And so it's nice not to have to worry about that stuff anymore, I guess.
Right.
It's the main thing. You
Yeah.
know? And it's like, yeah, mistakes happen, not perfect, trying to better myself, and that's, I guess, all we can do. It's all I can do, you know.
I'm sure Sally appreciates it.
She's such a good girl.
Yeah, she is.
Such a
Yeah.
More
good.
Dutch Bros runs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, lots of pup cups. Lots of pup cups. Amazing. Yeah. I love you.
And you guys went and got cupcakes yesterday, Brandon?
Yeah, we actually missed
Like right after us, huh?
Yeah, we missed you guys by probably, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. We're at Nordy's.
Yeah, getting your
Fragrances.
on.
Yeah.
Looking at $600 sneakers that none of us would wear ever.
Right.
600, more like 1,200.
Yeah, those were 1,200.
Yeah.
Man, crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, back to, I mean, yesterday was just amazing. It was super easy. Um, and I didn't smoke.
Oh,
I didn't crave,
For you. Yeah.
smoking a cigarette
good for
uh
you, man. That's good.
the whole time. I'm gonna quit those too. You know, it so yeah, I mean, and it wasn't like in my past, it was always being preoccupied with work and drinking. Like,
Hmm.
and I was just, and that's, where the irritability, where I'm just like, I'm antsy. I want to get a drink. I'm constantly thinking about emails, or I'm going to get a phone call from a customer. It was just, I was present. And that it hasn't been that way for most of his life, just based on work too. I mean, I would try to not think about work I mean, the drinking wasn't that bad in the beginning. I wasn't always thinking about drinking, but it was always work when, all the time. And I just, that's the thing about self-love. I never did anything. It was just like, you know, a utility vehicle. You put gas and oil in and you just keep doing it, and there's zero maintenance, and you end up running it into the ground. And that's what I did.
So,
Um,
so a question we ask each other a lot, I think, when we go through a big moment, like whether it's like taking a coin or doing something big, is did you cry? And we don't say it to embarrass each other, but we say it because like, hey, we get vulnerable sometimes.
Wait,
But
who says
yeah,
that?
like,
yeah, I've never heard that, dude.
oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like we asked her, did you cry? And like we want to know, did you cry, man?
I have cried on several occasions, but I think the day before I was driving, and it just kind of all came, the gravity of what is about to happen kind of hit me. And I was driving and I had to pull over. And then yesterday morning when I was doing my prayer, I broke down because I'm so fucking grateful for how I'm able to reunite with my kid, be with my kid and be present, sincere. And it's happened without selfishness, even though I wanted to be, come on, like wanted to urge him because I wanted to see him out of missing him so much, and not manipulating him to or guilting him into this. He did it on his own volition, and that felt really good. And I don't know which text that thread I brought that up in, and but I was just like, it was going through the program, talking with all of you guys, and not doing what my natural instinct would be to do, like when I would text him in the morning or text him at night and say, I love you, good night. He never said good night. He never said I loved you. And I'm just like, I wanted to be like, can you say good night? Can you tell me you love me? And I never did that, even though I wanted to, because I knew that would just be forcing the situation. And that's my first impulse reaction to do, is to want that, because I want it. I want to get what I want. And
Yeah,
it's not the healthiest way.
the fact that he reached out, like you said, on his own volition, and he reached out to you and wanted to hang out with you, that says a lot. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it
So
just speaks to like the change that you've experienced, and like the way that change has kind of come about is just by kind of following, you know, the suggestions and putting in the
right.
work, man. Like it's not like last August were like, I don't want to drink and I want to be different. I mean, maybe you were like that, but you didn't just think it into existence, dude. You
Right.
started showing up, you got involved, you got in the middle of it. You were open to trying things that were different and maybe weird, and but it seemed to work for other people,
Yeah.
right? And you didn't let like little like hiccups, just decide. I mean, that didn't just activate the fuck it's within you to say
Right.
let's give up. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it was you
good kind of
guys.
deal. Yeah.
I saw how you guys were, and that's another one of my character flaws is I want to fit in. But in this case, it's a healthy thing. I see what you guys are doing. I see what other people in the program are doing, and I'm just like, that's a good thing with one of my character flaws is that I want to do that. I want to fit in, but it's always been in an unhealthy way. It's I like to lead, but I also am very easily a follower to a point. But it's just, surrounding myself with good, healthy people that are constantly working on themselves. I mean, at pretty much every conversation we have with each other, it's just like, I'm having a problem. What can I do? Like, what have you done in this situation? And that's just, I don't think many people in society have that at all, other than just a therapist.
Mhm.
To have a board of people that you can talk to,
Bored. I like that.
you know, that I mean, it is. It's like a social board, a
Yeah.
mental board that you can bounce ideas off of, and it makes it easier. And knowing that you have that support is amazing, you know? So it's a culture shock, it's a mental shock to have this because it's out of my 50 years. I couldn't even rely on my own goddamn parents, you know? I mean, I'm learning about narcissistic parents and it's I've never been able to rely on anybody but myself. They relied on me for as their confidant, and I've never been able to have the time to work on myself. I spoke with one of our friends at the gym yesterday about it, and he experienced the same thing. So, you know, just helping each other is what it's about.
I think do you have a therapist, Brandon? Do you have one, Brandon?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
I got one in the program. She's great. I talked to her.
Good.
I'm shopping right now. I'm shopping. I might go with a certain person that other people have referred to who you all probably know, but
Yeah.
I
but
think.
yeah, that committee thing is really cool because like literally what's that? Oh,
Oh no,
anyways,
I think
that
it's the same one that I'm using.
okay, yeah, that committee thing is like really important because or the board of people helping us make decisions on the daily, like that's important, right? But then even for like big life changes, Jimmy moved and is starting a career path maybe in Pennsylvania, right? Is that correct? Like
Maybe.
you
Yeah.
probably had to get a lot of inputs from the board, right?
The board, not the itty bitty shitty committee.
Yeah.
That's in my own head.
Yeah.
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 You ever heard that one
I don't
before?
know.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Good.
Was
Yeah.
I there for that board meeting? I don't remember voting on you moving to.
We didn't ask for a
Yeah.
vote. Didn't ask for inputs only, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
got to
you're
wrap up anyways. Let's cash out.
Yeah.
okay.
Is it time to cash out? It's 11, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
We
spent a
got
lot
we got
of
about
time
46
screwing around.
minutes. We got about
Any
46
burning desires?
burning desires.
Oh, okay, real quick.
What burning desire?
I don't know. Can you just recap like top 5 activities of the weekend when you're in Portland and it's raining?
Snuggling with T-Bone.
I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I recommend it. Recommend it.
I play big or little.
Big. I love both sides. Bullshitting in the car. Cupcakes, Nordstrom's. These are all 1AB, 1AC. Gym and breakfast.
Don't forget bacon.
Bacon and protein.
Father's office, great.
And
Just
protein.
little plug for Father's office right there.
My father's eyes. My father's eyes. My
Father's place,
father's
what's that?
eyes.
Who all went to breakfast with you guys?
Wouldn't you like to know?
There was it was a good group. We had to sit at the counter though. We didn't get a table. There's too many of us.
Yeah,
which believe it or not, expedited the delivery of
yeah.
all things.
Well, it saves her like 10 steps
Yeah,
each way, man.
it's true.
So she has to go there all the time to get coffee and cash out so you don't get ignored.
Hmm.
So, all right.
Yeah.
You guys cashing out?
Yeah,
Burning
cash out,
desires.
Beeflo.
It's just out.
Cash us out,
Beeflo,
Beeflo.
cash us out.
Oh, I'm still a 9, man. Maybe even 9 more.
18? You're an 18?
Yeah. I just, it's every day gets better. Even through the tougher things. I'm not just sitting back and letting life happen. And I'm taking action and it feels good. And I'm just constantly working on myself and that feels good. So yeah, I mean, life's amazing and sobriety's amazing. It's given me a whole new outlook and uh yeah, I love it. I love you guys.
Love you.
Love you too, man.
Oh, I'm still a 7 body, 8 mind. My son's still asleep. But looking forward to going out to the Couve to deliver the car, the meeting tonight. And I'm gonna go build a cabinet at Sarah's office. So I'm not so looking forward to that, but it'll be all right.
It could be fun.
Could
Yeah,
be.
Oh, how about me?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like a 9. I've done enough bitching this week about the rain in Portland and living in
Oh,
Portland.
let's keep it going. I love
Yeah,
bitching
okay.
about the
We'll
rain.
keep it going. I'm a 9, but I'm still gonna bitch about Portland in the rain.
Fucking rain. God damn.
Fucking rain, goddamn.
Gonna be 75 this on Tuesday.
Yeah, but just for one day.
One
We
day.
should, dude, just take it in. Just love it. We should try
I'll
playing
be working.
pickleball.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
you're
sound like an
working?
abused wife when you're like, just enjoy the good times.
I just remember the
Just
good
enjoy the good
times.
I've never had that conversation, Chibo. Obviously, you have.
What do we call that? Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah, right. You're
8. I was an 8. Now I'm an 8.5 because I just got reminded that it's raining outside. So that bumped me up another half point. God,
For the listeners,
nice.
James loves the rain.
Love the rain.
We're gonna paint his nails black and put on some eyeliner in a second for him.
Oh,
I think that's just for you, bud.
we should play ourselves out with Mogwai every weekend, dude.
Mogwai.
End the show with a Mogwai tune.
Little cure
Yeah.
disintegration.
Here.
You want to put a Mogwai tune on?
Yeah, it's not playing. So it must be a weird frequency.
Yeah.
I got you guys. I got you guys right here.
I'll figure this out for next time, but there's a way to integrate.
Also figure out your internet connection.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, hey. Figure out your microphone.
Hello. Don't hear it.
You didn't hear that?
No.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if there's something in the Zoom program that you can't play music because
There
of
is.
copyright.
I just checked it out. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's not playing.
Maybe, yeah, for artists.
Yeah.
I guess we're not going to get
Copyright
it.
Especially,
or
I
whatever.
bet you if you took it off record, it would play.
Oh well.
So
Come and be sad boys with me.
Island Boys.
All
Sad
right.
boy, come on.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for
Existence
listening.
is suffering.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thanks for being here, audience, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got something out of
Our
that.
relatives.
Probably not. Probably not.
Thanks, Sarah, for listening.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Right Size Living. Thank you guys for participating, and most of all, thank you listeners for your attention. We hope you found this interesting and will join us again soon. Goodbye.